Hello, everybody. Wow, that was so weak. Come on, we can do this one more time. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Ben.
All right, there, we got a little bit more. I'm going to make you all stand at least at some point during this whole thing. So you need to make sure you're on it. You think I'm kidding, I'm not. So hello, everybody. My name is Ben Parr. I am the co-founder and president of Octane AI. We are the messaging platform for e-commerce. So think like what you would use something like a Klaviyo or either email platform for, but for Messenger and SMS, enabling you to do everything from like sending out flows to broadcasts to AI for automated support, and then connected to all the apps that you use. I was previously the editor of Mashable, and I wrote a book for HarperCollins called Captivology on the science and psychology of attention, why we pay attention to certain people and products, and how to utilize that science to captivate others. And I am joined here by two amazing companies, two amazing founders, who I'm going to let them introduce themselves and their businesses. And I'm going to start with Taylor, you're first.
Sweet. What's up, everyone? My name's Taylor, founder of Feet Socks. We make fun, bright socks. We've worked with all the major influencers in the world, done huge campaigns, did a lot of retail, scaled the company, and now we do socks, hoodies, direct to consumer, mostly digital advertising and influencer marketing.
Cool. Hey, everyone. My name is Adam. I have a men's personal care brand called Ballsy. If you're wondering what that pertains to, it's below the belt care. If you're thinking, is that what he's actually referring to? Yes, I am. We have three products. Our main product is called Ball Wash. We also have a solid cologne called Nut Rub, and then another product called Sack Spray. So as you can see, we're very bold, playful, and engaging, if you will, Ballsy brand. Launched in December of 2017, so relatively new. Was able to turn $5,000 into a seven-figure business in the first year.
I think actually this is a good place to start. So I think before we get into the strategies of Messenger and the marketing aspect of how you drive like sales and leads, I think we need to talk a little bit about how each of you got your businesses started and kind of the DNA of it. So tell us a little bit more about that 5,000.
Well, so my idea actually came to me, like all good ideas, I think, in the shower. So I was looking at all the different products that my wife had. Seemed like she had a different product for every area of her body. And as guys, we pretty much have face wash, body wash, shampoo. And it just kind of dawned on me. I wonder if anyone had ever created ball wash. So literally jumped out of the shower, frantic Google search. To my surprise and delight, no one had ever done this before. Maybe I'm an idiot, maybe I'm a genius, I don't know, but I needed to find out. So that kind of put me down the path of figuring out, how do I marry a very bold, fun, playful brand with a high quality product? So this is right around the time I was also starting to get into just better personal care products for myself. It just wasn't a brand that really resonated with me at that point. So I was like, I wonder if I could use this playful hook and brand to get more guys involved in personal care items and caring more about themselves. So I basically took about a year to find a personal care manufacturer that had that ethos and also wasn't asking for a minimum order quantity of 10,000 or more. It took about a year, but I found this company in Michigan. I got them on the phone. I'm like, hey, I have this crazy idea. I want to make a product called Ball Wash. They're like, we're in. I'm like, perfect. I might only order 100 to start. They're like, we don't care. Like, we get a lot of ideas, and we think this could work. So I ordered 500 and put them up basically Black Friday of 2017. Sold out in a day. It was like, oh shit, like we are sold out and we have a month to go. Luckily, they were able to make me 15,000 and we sold those out in 30 days. And then that kind of catapulted me into 2018. We added another product. We started doing subscription. And we're looking now to kind of just expand the brand, above the belt, if you will. So yeah, that's kind of the short and long of it.
Make sure you, before you're all done, go to the website and just read the copy if you want to have some more happiness in your life. Taylor, talk a little bit about starting your business.
Yeah, not as fun as Adam, unfortunately.
Sorry, I made him start first, though.
Yeah. So starting in college, I was making socks, just had no idea what to do. Initially, it was going after retail, so we got into 500 mom and pop shops, surf shops, skate shops. Realized what a pain it was to work with all these retailers, given terms and collecting and everything. And then it was like 2014, 2015, got really hooked on this influencer trend. And this was before influencers were a word, before anyone knew what these influencers were. It was all these kids that just had these huge followings that had no idea how to monetize. So we started making, just DMing. I DM'd probably 10,000 different influencers anyone with over 1 million followers being like, please, can we work together in any way possible? I'll send you free socks. If you like them, we'll make your own custom sock, and we'll pay you on that. And then no one responded, and I'd go through all their agents and managers. They all wanted these crazy upfronts, and I just tried doing back-end profit splits, said, I'll give you almost all the profits, I don't care, knowing it was customer acquisition. So we did some big campaigns with like Logan Paul, the Chainsmokers, Ali Raisman. Some of these campaigns with one post on a YouTube channel or an Instagram could drive $500,000 in sales just like that, and like 20,000 new customers. So really built a good base through that. And then once we did that, we figured out, wow, we're actually an e-commerce company now. We have to figure out how to own the traffic and optimize it as best as possible, implement subscription, other things, and get recurring revenue as much as possible. And that's kind of how we got here.
All right, so let's talk about the subscription element. So we are at a subscription conference. What role does subscription play in your business?
Yeah, subscription is important, especially for socks. It's a product you need over and over again. And it's a way for us to be able to forecast, because especially as you're like this and you're scaling an e-commerce business, it's impossible to forecast how you're going to do. The biggest issue with the influencers, we do 1 month with a good influencer campaign and put up a $600,000 month. And the next month, we'd have a campaign that flopped and put up a $60,000 month. And it was impossible to forecast inventory. So subscription was great in being able to forecast out what kind of inventory we needed.
Yeah, 100% the same here. When we started, it was one-time purchase, a lot of gifting. I knew that if we were going to transition to a more sustainable brand, having a reoccurring revenue on subscription, especially with our product, run out basically every month. And no matter how much you like the product, if you run out of ball wash or body wash in the shower, and you're at Target on the weekend like we all are, you're going to probably grab something just to replace it, and then we've lost you as a customer. So for us, building a subscription business has really been paramount to making sure that we're sustainable in the long term, not just like a one-off business.
So both of you, and we'll start over here. Talk about maybe like one of the biggest challenges that you faced when you were starting your business and how you overcame it.
Just one?
I mean, we only have 30 minutes here.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, we had a lot of quick traction. So I think we hit everything that could go wrong in the first 30 days. So, I don't want to go into all of that because, we could, if you want to hear about business challenges, we can go afterwards. But I think the thing that was important for us was finding that right product manufacturer, someone that believed in our idea and was able to help us scale when we ran out of product. I mean, most product manufacturers in personal care, you're looking like 60 days out. And if I ran out of product, on that first day, I was screwed. I wouldn't have the business that I had now. So I think it's really finding that perfect partner and viewing them more as a partner, not just like a manufacturer that's making your product. If you can find that piece early on, that is the reason why I have the business I have today. So it took a year to find that person. It was a lot of no's and high minimum requirements that I couldn't make. But the time that I put in there is, exponentially helped the business.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many problems. So pick one is just, you can't. There's a ton of problems. Everything with scaling, logistics, trying to figure out inventory management and do that. And a big thing, especially in the digital space, is when you're spending money to acquire a customer in some way and then not being able to reach them. So at first, we'd have this big influx of customers and we were getting 40, 50% open rates. Then you see those open rates go 40, 30, 20, 10, and then a customer hasn't opened an email for 10, 15 emails in a row, and you kind of lost them. And you have no way to get them back. So it's kind of what Ben solves, and that's why we work with him a lot. So through different text message and email and obviously Facebook bots and just being able to reach customers in different ways. But it was really hard when we were acquiring a customer, paying all this money, then not able to contact them when the email stopped opening.
I think that leads into a perfect question, which is both of you are using Messenger to as a key marketing channel for your business and communicating and connecting with customers. And either of you can start with this one, just why Messenger?
I mean, for me, there's two reasons. One, there's a lot of white space there. There's not a lot of brands that are utilizing Messenger, and it's just a different marketing channel that there's not a lot of competition in. And two, it's the conversational aspect of it. Unlike email, you send out a blast, you're not going to get a response. They open it, they don't. With Messenger, it's a conversation. It should feel like a conversation between yourself as a brand and kind of a friend. So we always open up all of our Messenger blasts with a question to kind of get that yes, no going. And if they ignore it, fine, that's one thing. But it should feel like an engaging experience. And Messenger to me is the only place that I've been able to have that type of friend, building community. You're a part of something bigger in a marketing channel.
Yeah. I think the only way you could win in the digital space now is to be ahead of the curve. So if you were on Facebook running Facebook ads 4 or 5 years ago, you could post anything because CPAs were so low and you'd be winning. And now this is the next thing where you could be winning at. Whereas on email, everybody's on email. There's so much stuff in email. Gmail's getting so smart that filtering a lot of stuff to spam. Email rates are just going lower and lower and lower. So Messenger's awesome because we're getting over 80% open rates, so we can actually reach our customers. And it's a whole new way. Whereas on email, I mean, on our Messenger bot, I think I have 10,000 people, but I get an 80% open rate, so I can reach 8,000 people. If I send an email blast to 100,000 people and I get an 8% open rate, I reach 8,000 people. It's the same amount of people I reach. So Messenger's been great to actually reach and connect with customers in new ways. And if you're not ahead of the curve, you're losing because if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're already behind.
And you both touched on this, but just talk a little bit about the difference between Messenger versus maybe other marketing channels. What makes it unique versus, say, like email as an example, or like ads?
Yeah. So Messenger's intimate. Still, consumers now, they're not used to having. When you get a Facebook message, most people have push notifications on, so you get it right away. And it's something you're actually going to open because you're not used to getting. You don't get spam and other stuff there. So Messenger, it's an intimate conversation you could have. So people are opening it, people are engaging with it, and people like talking on Facebook Messenger. Whereas you get an email, you kind of like, oh, I got an email, it's work or it's something. When you get a message on Messenger, it's probably your friend or something like tagging you in a meme or sending you something fun that you want to do. So it's like a platform that people want to be on. So people want to be engaging on there.
You know, I think that's really important. For me, I was actually a little gun shy to send out Messenger. I was like, all right, people are going to hate us because like now we're showing up in their like Facebook Messenger. It's just another way brands are reaching out. But if you do it in the right way and it feels like a fun conversation, like you said, memes, like we send memes, we send GIFs, we ask questions, then they're like very open to that conversation and it feels more than like, all right, these guys are just blasting me on another channel. So for me, while I was gun shy on it, I think if you approach it in a fun way, like a message to a friend, you're gonna see a lot of positive reaction to it.
And it's a fun way to interact with the brand, which it increases your brand value. People are scared of going to Messenger. It's like, oh, I'm going to feel like I'm spamming them, but it's actually a positive thing. You're increasing your brand value because you're showing like, hey, our brand's cool and relatable, and we're not a brand, we're a friend that you could have a conversation with.
So let's talk a little bit about some like tactics and some strategies. Just actually, I'm curious. Raise your hand if you've done anything with Facebook Messenger in any kind for marketing. It's like pretty small. Raise your hand if you've never done anything at all with Facebook Messenger. Put it high. Raise your hand if you're thinking about it, you're interested, you're trying to figure this stuff out. It's a pretty big number. Nice. Wow. It's still so nascent. Like there's still like, you hear a lot about it, but there's still so many people who have not tried it, not seen it. It's still so new. So let's talk a little bit about tactics. Like if someone were to adopt. So just give me like maybe like something that every store should be doing with Messenger if they're just getting started.
Honestly, if you're gonna do one thing right now, well, not to plug Octane too directly, but download the Octane AI app on Shopify if that's what you're using or whatever platform you're using, and then just turn on the abandoned cart flow, and you'll just make money. It is that dead simple. Like if you want to make more money, turn on Messenger abandoned cart, and you will make more money. I guarantee it. Just change the message a little bit. On Octane AI, they give you a template, and just make it sound like it's coming from your brand. And it literally makes money it's the second you turn it on. It cannot be any easier than that. And then obviously you can get a little more advanced, but that's the way we started. And I was like, wow, there's something here. Like people are interacting with this abandoned cart. It's converting. Maybe we should spend some more time here. So if you're not sure, that's the best place to start.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. When I first met Ben, I was skeptical at first. I was like, do people want messages? And we had an opt-in to receive via Facebook messengers. And then we started sending abandoned carts, and people were so excited and happy to be talking in the messenger. And based off their feedback, I was like, wow, people want to be talked to here. So we eased into it, same thing with abandoned carts, and saw crazy success. It was way more successful than our email abandoned carts, and it was just amazing. And then from there, we got more comfortable in having conversations with customers to be able to send out different blasts to the customers, and we understood what they want to talk, and then engaging back and forth. The people would respond, and then you could set up automated replies back, and you could almost set up this automated conversation, and you could always hop in as a human and talk, and it gets the conversations going. So it's scary at first. So I would definitely start with abandoned cart flows, and then you'll realize, wow, people actually want to talk on here.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's really cool too on Octane, not to keep pumping it, is they will tell you what people respond with, And then if you can build responses based to, like if somebody says thank you a million times, like you can then set up an automated response to respond back. Like we have a Bill Murray gift that's like, you're welcome, which is really fun and engaging. Or if somebody's always asking the same question, then you know that you need to set up a messenger response to answer that question. So we've been able to cut down on our customer service as well. People are asking about subscription, like when can I cancel? All of that stuff we answer in Messenger, which is really convenient.
And that's where people want to talk. It's a better experience to be able to just message a brand and be like, hey, how would I cancel? Here's how you do it. Cool. Versus like having to go find the customer support email right in. It's a whole different experience. It's fun, it's new, it's innovative, and it helps them connect with you as a brand.
So both of you talked about like, let's talk about copy. So you both are talking about like sending messages and all that sort of thing. And so copy on messaging is definitely different than copy on email. And both of you, especially like send out broadcasts. So like some of them they're so hilarious, they're amazing. So just maybe a little bit of like, what makes for really good copy when you're writing stuff for Facebook Messenger?
Yeah, I think it has to be engaging. And so many people get caught up into best practices. And when everyone's reading the same 7 best practices to use on your email and everyone's using that same thing, you don't stand out. It's all noise and you fit in with everyone else. So you need to have different type of copy and to be engaging. And I think of Messenger as if you're talking to a friend. And it obviously depends on how your brand is.
Yeah.
But everything has got to be engaging and interesting, short, sweet, to the point, with a little bit of fun in it.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to be short. I always lead with a question. So like I said, for Father's Day, I was like, hey, you looking for a Father's Day gift? Yes, no, maybe next time. And then from that, it's like it's a gift to engage them, and it's like a short message. So just like you're messaging your friends, and obviously it needs to fit your brand personality, but it should not be robotic. It should not feel, like if you're doing this well, it doesn't feel like you're talking to a bot, right? Something that's scripted. It should feel like your friend is talking to you.
I just want to highlight one specific example from you that is one of my favorites. Can we do that?
Sure.
One on April 20th.
Yeah.
So you can talk about it a little bit, but like you had a promotion on April 20th, right?
Yep. So we did on April 20th, 420, which is like a weed holiday, if everyone doesn't know that.
Just clear that up.
Not another room. It's kind of bright. I can't see everyone in here. But pretty much we did 4 pairs of socks for $20. It was a huge promotion. And we did a messenger blast with that, and people absolutely loved it. Like, this is cool, fun, and engaging. And I think just from that one messenger campaign alone, I think we brought in I don't know, I could say $15,000, $20,000 in sales just from messenger. It actually outperformed our email about it. So that was really awesome.
How often should a brand be sending like messenger broadcasts? Is there a number?
So just in case anyone's not familiar with the broadcast is like a one-off message. So you can send automated flows. So like after 30 days, we send an automated flow to say how have the products been, and we go down to different segment based on their response. However, a broadcast is just like a one-off. It's just an email, think of it like an email campaign. So when we set up, what you need to do is make sure that your help portal, your customer service portal, can handle Facebook messages. Because what happened to us is we had 4,000 people that we sent a blast to, and that's 4,000 blasts that go back to your Facebook Messenger. And it's not fun to manage 4,000 auto responses in Facebook. So we use Gorgeous. We just switched over them for this reason. So you can select all and close. So make sure that you have the ability, one, to respond to all those messages or close them out. Otherwise, Messenger just gets very unwieldy. And then 2, we like to send them out maybe twice a month. We don't want to bombard our customers, but every other week, if we're doing a sales promotion, we'll send one out.
Yeah, I think it's fair to send anytime you have value. So we send probably maybe once every week or every other week. But if you ever have something value to send, everything has to be valuable, whether you're offering a sale or offering something funny or offering some information. As long as you're sending value, you could sell it up to a couple times a week. But it has to be, you have to be giving them value in some way. The second you start spamming and sending with something that's just not valuable, but hey, have you checked out our this? And it's yes, I've checked it out. It's boring. But if you say it in a funny way, or you have something funny, engaging, interesting, or something valuable, then you can send as much as possible.
So let's flip the table a little bit here. What's something that maybe you want to be doing more of on Messenger, and why? What's something what's the next step for you?
Yeah, we started doing automated flows, like I mentioned. After 30 days, that's basically our product is ended and somebody needs to order again. So we'll send out an automated message to say, like, one, how are things going? Did you like the product? And that's really a good spot for us to collect people that aren't enjoying it, and then we get customer service in there right away. Maybe that's somebody that never responded back to us, or maybe they just didn't have a good experience, but they didn't want to send in an email. So we're able to kind of remedy that situation and maybe turn them into a second customer. And then if they're having a great experience, then we kind of push them towards subscriptions. So for me, that's the only automated one that we have, but I need to build more on that as we've kind of expanded and we've seen success there. For me on Messenger, like I've just basically tested one thing at a time. Like I said, abandoned cart, saw success, added an automated flow, seen success. Now we're going to start expounding upon that. I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed in the beginning with like, I need to do a million different things on here because you can do a lot, but just start small and test, win, test, maybe it wasn't a win, what wasn't successful, and then start again.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to get overwhelmed at first because there's so many complex features and you're just like, whoa, there's so much stuff to do, and it's like you get trigger shy and you're like, I'm not going to do anything, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So I started with abandoned carts, then I started sending broadcasts, and I still haven't gotten deeper into the conversations. Like if someone says this and you say this back and this back and this back in those conversations, I haven't built that out at all, which is something I want to build out. But just take it one baby step at a time, and just to make sure you're not overwhelmed, and use piece by piece, you'll get there.
You mentioned a little bit earlier about like Gorgias, and so Gorgias is integrated with Octane AI, but are there any other integrations that you all use, like you integrate your messenger with? Is that an important aspect for you, having like your messenger integrated with like the other apps that you use?
I mean, for me, it was just being able to handle like the sheer influx of Messenger, because when you send out a message, like you automatically get that message on Facebook in your Messenger inbox, and to go through and click those out one by one, like I don't care how much money I'm making on it, like it is just frustrating. So make sure that you can like have your customer service portal manage that. I mean, that was the main integration, and we literally switched our customer service to Gorgias only about a month ago for that reason only, so I could send more broadcast messages and manage them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. So that's how important that is for me.
I think I'll mention here just there's a couple other ones that if you're like in the room, you've probably seen some of these companies I would like be thinking about. So beyond like Gorgias is one who's here in the room. Recharge is another, so you can integrate Recharge and Messenger and Octane so that you can like send abandoned cart messages and things like that. Some cool stuff coming, ChargeX, I'm just gonna say. And then one more is if you're using Klaviyo, you can actually connect your Messenger to your email flows and trigger emails based on actions taken in Messenger. And we've seen that be something that's important for brands that are like, we've seen generally that, and maybe you could tell me if you've seen this, but most consumers don't care if they're getting both an email and message, they're different channels. But for those brands that really do care about that, you can coordinate the two together.
Yeah.
All right, so one or two last questions, and then I want to open up for an audience question or two. We have like a few minutes left, right? All right, one more question for everyone. Are you thinking about other messaging channels? Like it sounds like you might be doing some things in SMS and other kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, SMS is definitely the next place that we're going. But to your point, it's just making sure that everything is talking so the customer is not getting bombarded, in 3 different areas. But I think SMS is, again, like a huge trend that's going to be upcoming, and to get there before everyone else and have that advantage, I think is really important.
Yeah, SMS is huge. We use SMS a lot, just for abandoned carts, and also same thing, campaigns. Very similar to Facebook Messenger with the response rate. SMS, people get a little more angry sometimes. They're not always as happy, like, how'd you get my number? Why are you texting me? Whereas Facebook people are more chill about it. But
that's a good, interesting difference. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, because a text is kind of invasive, whereas Facebook Messenger maybe doesn't feel as invasive. But I've gotten some angry text messages back. Part of the game. But yeah, SMS. And then how can you get us into Instagram DMs?
So many NDAs.
Cool.
We'll talk later. All right, so question time. I saw some hands. Raise your hand if you have a question. Looks like we got one right here. Introduce yourself to everyone when you ask your question, please.
My name's Kevin Woolman, founder CEO of Southern Scholar Socks out of Dallas. Kind of speaking on one of the last things you just said there, when you guys are running abandoned cart flows with Octane, are you also running them through your email platform? And if so, are you setting up time differences? Are you blasting them at the same time, setting up a couple hour difference day? What's that kind of look like?
Yeah, we're hitting people from all angles. Emails, messenger bots, text messages, and then retargeting ads. So we're pretty aggressive on trying to capture that person. They're stagnating it out. I think Messenger, I forget the actual time. I think Messenger bot might be 30 minutes or an hour. Email's like 4 hours. And a text message is like a last heave like 24 hours later. But yeah, definitely stagnate it out based off our A/B testing on them.
Okay, and then second question, are you guys running any sort of like micro commitment funnels through the bot, kind of like engaging quizzes, apps, or like applications, things like that?
I'm not, but I know there's capabilities. Are you running anything like that?
No, not yet. That's definitely on the horizon for us.
I'll send you some quizzes, by the way. Some very interesting ones. Like GoPro does a very fascinating quiz about figuring out the camera you want to go and buy.
Hi, Fitz from Baksu. We deliver Japanese snacks to customers around the world. Just wondering, have you guys been able to find a workaround with Facebook disallowing PreCheck?
Yeah, you just have to put it in more spots. We put it on our, so for Privy, we have an email capture and we add the messenger check-in. So that's been really successful.
Well, there's another integration right there.
Yeah, there you go. I guess there's always more. We have it on add to cart on the product page and then on checkout as well. Obviously, when it was pre-checked, it was fantastic, but a little harder now. But it's just putting it in as many spots as you can, and I think there's 4 at least now. So yeah, not as awesome as before, but it's the world we live in.
Yeah, PreCheck was great.
There's 2 other pieces of advice. One, Facebook click to messenger ads. Anyone who clicks on one of them is automatically a subscriber. You can run really awesome campaigns and like drive both subscribers and sales, especially given that like it's not as used as some other ad types. There's some innovation to be done there. And the second one is a feature we call it comment capture, where anytime someone comments on any of your Facebook posts, you can send a message automatically to them. And if that person responds back, they become a subscriber. Both of those work really well.
Yeah, especially if you're running a lot of ads on Facebook, you just put that on and you have a message and you just capture everyone.
This is Mike from the BJJ box, and he might have answered my question. If I wanted to import my audience, let's say people that I've done business with, emails, what have you, can I message to them or do I have to get some prior pre-approval?
It's a bad
That's you,
question.
Ben.
So you can't message people that you like just have the emails for. If they purchase something, well, so Messenger is kind of like the same, like you have to get some kind of opt-in. So if it's like from a previous platform on messaging, you can get those, or anyone who's messaged you in the past. And if you have their phone number, there is a way to at least send a message, but it goes into their second inbox. We've never seen that be super successful. It's just like, you just have to get started. You put the opt-ins on the site, you run the ads, you get a lot of those people pretty quickly.
So we got one more question.
All right, one more question. Oh, wait, I promised to make you all stand, didn't I? All right, everyone stand for a second. I'm a man of my word. Everyone just stand for a second. Just stretch for a moment. I gotta take a picture of all of you, video of all of you. I want you all to just scream for a second when I count down from 3, 2, 1, and then just scream a little bit, and then we'll do the last question. All right? All right?
All right.
There we go. There we go. We need you all ready for tonight. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. It's going
Thank
up.
you.
All right, we have one last question, right?
Hi, I'm Jessie from Let's Make Art. We have an art subscription box. We teach and then they get the supplies. And we have a really active Facebook group that they opt into. And we have about 20,000 active people encouraging each other in their art there. And we've thought about doing Messenger, but I haven't figured out the best way to opt in. Do you have any experience with people who have used Facebook groups that way to engage them back into things?
Come find me. We're working on it.
Awesome, thanks.
Awesome. So that's all the time that we have there, everybody. I believe these gentlemen will be available for questions out in the hall after. So everybody, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.